What's up, guys? Welcome to The Community, the podcast devoted to home service businesses and those who desire to make an impact while making an income. Each week, you're going to hear real stories from people who decided to do it their way and start a business.
And then today, we've actually got a guest who, when I was
probably seen her on movies,
yeah, it's probably actually true. I don't know if there's anything she doesn't do. And she's going to be one of the most successful people, I would say, that we've had on the show. And not just successful inside of business. The way her brain processes and articulates information, she's an absolute ace.
Yeah.
Before the show, I was thinking if she was an Avenger, she'd be...
You were saying Miss Marvel, but I believe it's Captain Marvel or maybe Wonder Woman. Either way, I mean, those are both prestigious, right? But Captain Marvel covers a lot of bases.
Yeah, it's like you're super and great at everything. And specifically what we're going to be talking about today, she has two different kind of businesses that she works with. One is understanding the profitability. She runs a CPA agency. And so we're going to jump into that and understand, because if I were starting a business all over again, I would start by becoming a professional at understanding the numbers. And so we're going to dig into that. And then she's also got a very successful window cleaning operation. And so we're going to dig into window cleaning. She's going to have to talk me into the idea of starting a window cleaning company because where we live on the East Coast, right?
Yeah.
Window cleaning is not something that I would spend time doing.
Well, I mean, it makes sense for where she's at too. It's just a different business model. But I feel like typically you're either a window cleaner who does a spurt of pressure washing or you're a pressure washer who does a spurt of window cleaning.
Hey, without any more kind of introductions, it's going to be Meaghan Likes. Please come on to the show.
Hi, everybody.
Hello, Meaghan.
It's not every day I get to start as a superhero, so now we've set the bar here. Let's see if we can keep.
Let's go.
Knowing your brain, the next time I see you, you'll have a Captain Marvel outfit on, is what I'm guessing.
I mean, somewhere maybe an arm's length is me as Wonder Woman that somebody made for me. So yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah, I was a little closer on the money there.
Hey, would you do me a favor and just tell our listeners why people should listen to you? I want you to brag on yourself and I want you to be proud of yourself.
I mean, I feel like you should listen because I'm you, but I have a different brain, right? So I started a window cleaning, gutter cleaning, pressure washing company back in 2007. And it was because my husband really liked cleaning windows. He was a really good window cleaner, still a really good window cleaner. But the business part of window cleaning, not intuitive, not natural, not easy for him. And so my parents had failed in business early on. They failed early and often multiple times. And so I was scared when he wanted to start. I was like, no, I don't want to do that. I don't want that lifestyle. And here we are many years later. I think I'm on my 9th business, 7 of them currently active. And I absolutely love being an entrepreneur. I absolutely love business. And I feel like I've hacked it so that if you're listening to this and you're really good at your trade, you just need a little bit of Meaghan brain, a little bit of Meaghan guidance, and we can make you really good at the money. That's why you should listen to me is if we can solve the money part, we can make the stress kind of melt away a little bit. So I'm happy to be here.
Good. Hey, you said 7 businesses. What are the 7
currently active? Yeah.
Can you name all 7 on the spot? Like if I had to name all 7 businesses, I'd forget one.
I mean, I've only had one that's done okay.
Yeah, I definitely always forget one. The 3 primary are Likes Accounting Company. That's the accounting firm you were mentioning. Jeff Likes Clean Windows and Gutters. Bookkeeping Academy Online. The newest one they've been working on about 16 months that I'm most excited about is Titan Console. So it's a software company. Started a landscape lighting business in Florida called What's Up Lighting. I've got a nonprofit called The Pads Project. My husband just launched his window cleaning training program that I was not going to be involved in. It turns out 2 months in I'm involved in, called Streak Free Academy. Oh shoot, did I miss
That's
one?
7 right there.
Okay.
Now you nailed it.
Wow.
You flip and nail that. I feel like, I mean, of course, depending upon revenue and problems, that's about 7 different full-time jobs. And you're managing all of them like an absolute boss.
Well, not always, not every day. Some days it's like, oh my gosh, the sky's falling.
You're a superhero, so.
Let's play a game. I'm going to sell all my businesses and keep one. Which one are you keeping?
Window cleaning, always.
Now, why?
Yeah. Why?
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. So my husband got sick about a year and a half ago, And after about 6 months, when he started to feel better, he said he didn't want to come back. And so I had this opportunity to sell that window cleaning business, because I always said I didn't want to. The business is called Jeff Likes Clean Windows and Gutters. And I always said I never wanted to own Jeff Likes without Jeff Likes, right? And so I had this opportunity to sell. And for about 3 months, I really thought on it. I was like, well, here it is. Like, we built this thing, and he's going to retire, and we're going to just move on. We're going to pass it to the next steward of that business. And I couldn't part with it. I didn't want to let it go. And I was so grateful for that opportunity to really like focus on that and love on that. And so we spent about 6 months building in the next level of leadership. We actually gave ownership to one of our partners, and to now our partner, to one of our employees. And I'm so excited, because now my job is to help him carry out his vision. And we've got new energy in that business. So, and I don't know, there's something super simple about cleaning windows, right? Like, it's meditative, right?
Everybody's going to need it.
Huh?
I said everybody's going to need it too.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not going to be replaced by robots.
All right. So I want to ask a question. It's kind of like behind the scenes secrets. What's a secret about window cleaning industry that the average person might be surprised to learn?
You can make really good money.
Yeah.
Okay. And so in 2007, when you guys started, do you remember your revenue numbers like from startup?
It took us 2 years to get over $100,000. And I remember that was like Jeff's goal. Jeff was like, I want to make $100,000. And I was like, gross, net, us, like, what does $100,000 mean to you? A day, a week? I don't know. And, and so it was a side hustle. The first 3 years, Jeff was working full-time, city job, W-2 employee. Remember, I said I was scared to jump. I didn't want to go into that business. It was a side hustle just in the evenings and the weekends. And we jumped after a Groupon. We launched a Groupon and doubled our book of business back in 2009. I remember our first employee made more than we did that first year. We learned lots of lessons about that, right? Yeah. So we scaled it slow. Started taking it really seriously come 2015. By 2016, we'd replaced my CPA salary. And by 2017, I was able to leave my corporate job to come do the next thing.
Hey, I'm going to interrupt for a second because we've got a phenomenal opportunity for you. If you've been thinking about opening your own pressure washing company, I'd like to invite you to a free webinar. There we'll talk about the pros and cons of opening a pressure washing, and you'll get to chat with our team about whether or not you should launch a pressure washing company in your city or not. To register for this free event, go to pressurewashingpastor.com, scroll down to the little registration button, it's blue, and click on it, and we'll take care of the rest. I look forward to seeing you there. Have a great day. Now back to our show. Well, we're going to get into the numbers here in a few minutes, because I do want to talk about, I was a little surprised that you would keep the window cleaning and get rid of the accounting, because I know there's such a need out there as well in teaching those who start their own businesses how to understand their dashboards and numbers and forecasting, P&Ls. So I want to get into that. But if you had to start all over again, day one, and you're launching in a new city, what are some of the tips and tricks in starting that window cleaning company?
Don't spend any money.
There you
I
go.
feel like the entire industry is telling us to go spend more money. Like, I feel like the entire world is telling us to scale it fast, grow it big, throw money at advertising, spend a lot on marketing. And I would just encourage you to not. Run it lean and mean. You can start up for $100 at Home Depot and go clean some glass.
Are you telling me right now that if I save my money, I'll still have it?
It's weird. I know.
It's weird how that works.
I know. And it's actually way easier to make money.
Yeah.
Than it is to keep it. And if you're listening now, you might not believe me, but I'm telling you, the making the money is the easy part. The keeping the money is the hard part.
Yeah, that's incredible. What incredible advice. Don't spend it and you'll have it.
So let me ask you this. I'm starting my business tomorrow, window cleaning, on $0. What am I doing with my time?
Ooh.
You're hustling.
Talk
Jeff
to me.
hustled. Jeff was like a big hustler. So he walked neighborhoods. He did every chamber event, every BNI event. He joined his local Kiwanis club. I'm in Rotary. He just talked to people, and you'd be amazed at what you can sell if you're willing to just have a genuine conversation with somebody. Guerrilla marketing tactics. Like, we don't need to spend a lot of money.
What's your advice once you're starting to scale a business? Do you keep it inside the realm of don't spend any money? Or would you say there comes a time in your business that you need to spend money?
I don't think there's ever a time in your business where you need to spend money. I absolutely reject this philosophy of it takes money to make money. I feel like you have to be disciplined, and you have to be really conscious of why did you start. I think we all get lost in like the glitz and the glamour of being entrepreneurs. And for some reason, there's been something that's come up with me. Like, people think I'm just like super rich and I'm just like really frivolous. And I'm like, no, we run a family budget still. Jeff and I have a budget meeting every single month. We are disciplined with our money, and it is hard. That is not easy. It is not easy. But I would encourage you, as you grow, to just be really thoughtful. Like, how much do you want to make? You personally. Okay. How much do you want to work? And then it's just math backwards.
Yeah. Then just put those hands together and figure it out. Yeah. I think the answer is kind of relative there too, where what does spending money look like? Does it look like borrowing, financing, pulling loans, business line of credit, or does it look like waiting till you've not spent your money, have enough in there, and can invest interest free? What you were saying earlier about the first 2 years or the first year or so, you had a team member that ended up making more money than you guys. There is this persona that you're just killing it, and you're just like, when you're an entrepreneur, people look at you as like, oh, you must have all this stuff. And it's like, oh man, if only you knew.
If only you knew. Likes accounting, when I started in 2017, 10 years into business, and I was so arrogant. I thought, I've done this before. I can do this. I dug myself a hole of $250,000 debt the first year. $250,000 in year one.
Wow.
It is so easy to do. And I was smart about it. I was thoughtful about it. And before you know it, you're just chasing your tail.
Yep, exactly. Just trying to get out of a debt cycle in and of itself. It's like, you're not really making any money anyways. You're a slave to the lender there. I've got a question for you. You said you've had 9 businesses, 7 are active. The 2 that are inactive, you care to share a little bit about those?
I like to say I exited. That's the sexy way to say one of them walked away and the other one I sold for, it was a good return on investment. Both of them were partnerships. Partnerships are hard. Partnerships like marriage. People don't talk about that, but be careful who you get into business with. And one of them, we're still friends, still get along really good. And the other one, we still work together, but we had to preserve that working relationship. So I left. And then there's also this like finite energy. I think everybody thinks that I have like infinite energy, and I'm human. I crash. I need to sleep. I need to eat. I need to walk and exercise. Like, it's hard to juggle all of that. And there's a weight to it. I think we forget, or we don't talk about it enough, but being a leader is a responsibility. And I am responsible for a lot of people. So I think me just focusing last year was really helpful. Really helpful.
Is the crown.
So Meaghan, let me get back into this question because I'm processing. Okay. You're familiar with PPC.
Pay-per-click.
Yeah. Okay. And in my mind, it's part of the game. You've got digital, you've got guerrilla marketing or boots on the ground. And in my head, you need both of them in my head. Okay. I need you to set me straight.
You see my whole body language of like, oh, I don't want to have this fight.
I can tell you just want to talk right now. So bad.
No, I don't want to talk, but I'm happy to share. Because this is also heavy. If you are a listener, I do not take this to the bank. This is my business. This is my market. This is what works for me. And Josh will share what's worked for him. But yeah, I'm happy to share, but I'm not mainstream. So my ideas are different than most.
So talk to me. You run one of the most successful window cleaning, I would say, in the country. And you would not utilize Google, Yelp, Nextdoor, pay per click. Why?
I didn't, I would not in the beginning, definitely not. And I did not until this last year. And I lost a lot of money. I like wasted a bunch of money.
Did you really?
It was a very expensive learning lesson for me.
Who ran your ads? Let's go.
I'm not going to share.
Do we know this individual?
I'm sure.
But I am on my 6th marketing company in less than 14 months. And I
chat.
6th? No.
Yep.
5, 6.
Yep. And I treat them like an employee. And I'm a pain in the butt. I'm going to try not to curse in front of John.
Hey, thank you, Meaghan. You honored us.
Yeah, that was very honoring.
So I treat them like an employee. I manage them like an employee. I expect that if I pay for a service, that it will deliver a result. And marketing is very imaginary. It is very like voodoo magic. It is not, there is lots of smoke and mirrors in the marketing world. So this is not a bash on marketing. I think it absolutely is a place. I think there are people that say it absolutely kills it. I can tell you with Facebook, I have been very successful, but I can also tell you that with Facebook, I have a 7% conversion rate. So I need to really know my numbers. I could care less about leads, guys. I don't care about leads.
So let me ask you this. You end up finding out that a company that you hire to do your marketing, they end up not doing what they say they're going to doing, or they're being disgenuine. How do you go about having the conversation of letting them go? What does that call look like?
So usually they're not disgenuine. Usually they're just uninformed, right? Usually, if you think about it, we don't have aligned interests. So a marketing company thinks their job is to get me leads. And I think their job is to get me clients. And that disconnect between getting me a lead and getting me a client is where all the friction comes from. So now I've learned when I'm starting with a marketing company, I ask them, what kind of ROI can I expect? That's in the sales meeting, right? That's in the honeymoon phase. That's when they're selling me the moon, right? What is the ROI I can expect by working with you? Okay. And what actions do I as a business owner need to take to get that ROI? And then I do some math and I say, okay, then I need you to find me this many paying clients per month so I can get my ROI. Because I know what my average ticket is. I know what my conversion rate is. I know those numbers. So I just work backwards. And then I meet with them every week. And I give them 2 bad months in a row. And if they have 2 bad months in a row, I say, I'm sorry. Turns out we weren't a good fit. Turns out you could not deliver what you promised. I don't wait the 6 months that they make me wait. I hate that. Like, that's my money. Don't burn my money.
Meaghan, you need to give it 3 to 6 months. We can't figure this out right at the beginning. Have you heard this spiel before?
Every time. Every single time.
And what do you say?
I ask in the beginning, you have to ask in a sales meeting, can you deliver these results in the first 2 months? And they all say yes.
Yeah. Yeah. You put the burden of proof on them. I agree with that. One question I do have is, out of curiosity, in my head, this is just me, but there's 2 separate entities between marketing and sales. Sales is what gets you, your paying clients. Marketing is actually what gets you the leads. I know your close percentage and average ticket, so you're reverse engineering that formula to say, okay, well, I actually really need X amount of leads to get my ROI. But why do you look at it like, how many paying clients are you going to get me, basically, instead of saying, how many leads can you get of this quality and trust the sales to take care of the rest?
Because they don't know if they're good quality. And they don't seem to be interested. I have yet to hire a marketing company in my market. So maybe that would be different. Like if I was hiring locally, they would know my clients, but it's so frustrating. Like they want to celebrate, 180 conversions.
Right.
And I'm like, okay, I have 180 conversions. I only got 30 names and email addresses. Of those 30 names and email addresses, I only got 5 of them to talk to me. So now I take my normal conversion rate and I only end up with 2 clients.
Right.
And so I give them a little grace. I say, if we need to work backwards, how many of these leads did I actually get the opportunity to present an estimate to? And I will give you credit for those.
When I first started my own pressure washing business, I did not know what soft washing was, nor did I know marketing, sales, or even how to manage my finances.
Take the guesswork out of it. We have taken all of the knowledge we've gotten and wrapped it into video courses. It's a 7-figure blueprint for a pressure washing company that you can get at pressurewashingpastor.com. Go there, scroll down to video courses, and purchase it. We guarantee you'll get the value or your money back.
So go ahead and click pause, head over to the website. Now, unclick pause and back to your show. So who are the 6 companies you would never use again?
I'm not going to name any names, but I am going to tell you that when I first did this, I decided I was going to spend my COVID money on marketing. So I thought it was going to be really smart, and I was going to invest today's dollars. We were in inflationary times back then, where I was going to invest today's dollars to earn future dollars. And I had some money in the bank, and I was going to figure this out. We were going to scale this thing. Jeff had just left, and Jeff had never wanted to grow it very big. And I was like, this is going to be fun. We're going to do this. And so I went and I found the expert in every marketing area in our industry. And I was like, this is who I'm going to do business with. Like, they're the best of the best. And what ended up happening was a whole bunch of finger pointing. Like, nobody was actually managing my marketing. Nobody was actually caring about me. There were several months where apparently I didn't have a Google My Business. And the website guy said it was not his fault, and the Google guy said it was not his fault, and the Facebook guy or gal, whatever, they said it wasn't their fault. And I'm like, okay, but everybody's saying I need to do LSA ads. I'm paying at least 2 of you to help me with LSA ads, and how do I not have a Google My Business page?
Doo-doo water. I hate that.
Right?
I think that's doo-doo water. I'm not a genius. Okay, I'm going to get a little bit. Okay.
No, you're not.
I'm not a genius, and I'm not the marketing guy for our business.
No, you're not.
I know a little bit, okay? But you know one thing, and it sounds like based off your description, you might agree with this statement. One thing that I feel like I've noticed is that as a marketing company, especially for home service businesses, starts to scale, what ends up happening is the personal touch that they sold you in the beginning starts to get removed because they're actually not scaling leadership down to the team or personal relationship to the team. The guy, at the top is like still doing some of the sales calls, but like the people who are doing the marketing, if anyone even is, and it's not just robotically on a cycle, no one is watching it. So of course they're pointing fingers because there's no one to hold accountable for anything. That's my problem with marketing companies. As they start to scale, it seems like they just get things on a reoccurring basis. And that's what scares me about the sales call that you're describing.
So
have you experienced a similar?
Well, it's hard for me because I'm feeling personally attacked. And the personal attack is that it's not very different than a bookkeeping company.
Mm-hmm.
Right? If you think about it, I have had lots of growing pains there's a Meaghan brand. People want to do business with Meaghan. But Meaghan is like, it's way too big for me to do all the books. And so the same thing happens in marketing. And I loved what you said. It's on the owner to level up their leadership team. But I also think it's up to the client to like hold them accountable. People really, there's something about marketing where we're like, I know I need to do it. I know it's going to cost me a lot of money. And so and we're resigned to it. And I love what you said. We have to hold them accountable. Like, I cannot abdicate from my marketing because if there are no leads, then there are no sales. If there are no sales, then there's no work. If there's no work, then there's no like livelihood for employees, right? And as the owner, like that is a really important job, is to make sure that I can keep my team members fed, right? Well, make sure they got work so that they can keep themselves fed. But yeah.
And Meaghan, you're a better person than me. I tend to just trust people. And when you trust people, you sometimes don't hold them accountable. And I found out last week, you will not believe this. We have 5 different locations for Browns. Our website is a multi-site where we've added some other locations. And I'm like you, I do not want to throw people underneath the bus. I want to respect and honor and super love. But it's like, I found out last week that the majority of the websites that this company built for me were not indexed.
Mm.
I paid for them to create websites to help a pressure washing pastor start their own business. I sold guys on a vision, a mission, on values, had them create a website for them to grow their local SEOs, and the majority of their pages, if the homepage was indexed, if we had 2 locations that the homepage wasn't indexed, Do you know what that means?
Oh, I know. And it makes me sad for you. It makes me mad. And I can't believe you noticed. I changed my entire website. So I got a very pretty brand. Remember I said I spent my money on marketing. I got a very pretty brand. I got a very pretty website. And about 6 to 8 months later, I realized that I had no SEO. I had built all of my SEO myself personally back in 2008, 2009. I chose my market based on SEO. I was the SEO girl. And I took my finger off that pulse because it's a hard one to measure. Right. And I didn't have marketing companies. And whoever had written the new website, same thing. No headers, no subheaders, no location tags, no service tags. And I, it was really painful because by the time we felt that in the call volume, it was really hard to recover. And we're still recovering. We're still recovering.
Hey, I feel your pain, and we've got to move beyond this, but I do want to educate
I feel bad for every marketing friend that we have. This is not intended to be a marketing bash.
No,
they should be embarrassed, and they should be calling us and saying, hey, I heard on the show that I did not index 244 of your pages. So I had almost 300 pages between Nashville, Ocean Springs, Orlando, Birmingham, Houston, Chattanooga, and 244 pages were never indexed. And so if you're listening, what index means is they cannot be found on Google. And the majority of the new locations, none of their pages, maybe one, was indexed. It's robbery. We pay a company to build a website so we can be found, and they don't do the due diligence to make sure that we can be found in their industry. It's ridiculous.
And we're promising these guys, when he says like we're selling a vision, it's like, hey, we do know what works. We know the model. All you got to do is this, this, and this. And a lot of it is investing in some ads and stuff like that, which they're like, dude, we're doing it and just nothing's happening. And they muscled their way through the entire year last year.
So Meaghan, I've got 2 absolute G's that I've come to love over the last 2 months as I've uncovered what's been done. And so what I'm almost thinking about is just hiring the marketing guy, and he just belongs to Browns. Like, just say, hey, I'm going to fill your cup. How much can I just buy you to be a part of our company? Because my fear is that he scales and then has to hire VAs, and then he can't manage the VAs. I really just want his eyes on the analytics.
Right.
And so anyway, I'm ranting for a second. I'm sorry, Meaghan, that we got on this subject. I want to get back.
Can we just leave the listeners in a better place than we found them, though, and say that as an owner, it's your money. And I really encourage you to hold your marketing company accountable. Like Josh said, it's uncomfortable because we don't know it. And like I said, it's voodoo magic. Like, it's very smoke and mirrors. It's very hard to uncover. But go back to the truths you know. And the truths you know is you're paying them to get visibility. Okay, how do we measure visibility? And then how do we justify money in I'm taking money away from my team members to pay a marketing company. So what do I expect back in return? And keep the conversation professional. And I literally, mine says performance evaluation is the marketing metric spreadsheet that I use with my marketing company now. And I am every week evaluating their performance. They are feeding me the data. I am validating the data.
Yeah, that's really good. That's good for both parties too. It's not accusatory at all. It's just sheer data.
It's data.
A question for you. I want to go back to something you said about your family. You said that you have a family budget meeting. Is it once a week or once a month?
Once a month.
Would you share with me what that looks like?
Sure. So Jeff retired. He left the business a little over almost a year and a half ago. And initially what ended up happening is if anybody is listening to this and has ever retired before, he went out and he started spending a little bit of money because he had some time. Like, he was doing all the home projects and he was getting in the hobby. Like, he was doing the retirement stuff. And it was adding this like pressure and tension to me because I was like, there's not like a finite cup here. Like, he was always so busy working that, neither of us are really spenders, and he wasn't being frivolous or eccentric. It's just those daily trips to Home Depot or daily trips to the grocery store were adding up. And so I said, we really need to go back to our principles about our spending. Like, we really need to think about how much are we making and how much are we spending. And so he built the family budget. And I had always built the family budget before that. We're huge Dave Ramsey fans in our house. We've done Financial Peace University, and we'd been good about budgeting in the past. Yeah. Okay. We like that too. Good. I love it.
Oh, for sure.
We're in Nashville.
For sure. Yeah. We're local to Dave Ramsey.
Okay. Well, it's really good for a marriage, right? Because it got us on the same page about our money, and it got us rowing in the same direction about our financial futures. And so we went back, and Jeff redid the family budget with this, retirement. And I kind of joked with him. I was like, you're on a fixed income now. Like, you're not out there getting raises or scaling your paycheck. Like, I need us to build this around what we have right now. And he said, okay. And so we had to get realigned. And that realignment, we started with a frugal February. So that was last February in that realignment part. And it was so fun because one of the rules was we could not go to Target for the entire month of February. That was like one of the frugal February rules. I love Brady's laughing. You know how much you can spend at Target. It's just so easy.
It's a dangerous store.
It's a dangerous store.
They drop a Starbucks in everyone. You got to be kidding me, man.
Exactly. And so we kind of thought, and it was helpful for us because it helped us talk about, like, how much do we want to eat at home? Like, how much do we want to eat together? We talked about how much do we want to travel? Where do we want to travel to? So we put together this budget. We launched it with Frugal February, and then we just have these budget meetings. And Jeff, because he has more time than me, he drives them. So he shares his screen on the TV, and we sit down and we talk about our spending every month. No guilt, no shame, like we're just curious mindset about that, right? And then we say, okay, what do we want to do differently this month? And maybe we want to eat out more. Maybe we want to eat out less. Maybe we want to add a little weekend away. Maybe we don't. Like, I think people overcomplicate it, but really we just kind of set a plan and we talk about that plan.
They either overcomplicate it or don't complicate it enough and have no conversations at all, which I think is probably the vast majority. They're floating.
If you think about it, for your marriage, that's really hard because then we can't read each other's mind, right? And if anybody's listening to this and they have one breadwinner or one person out there driving revenue, it can add a lot of pressure. And what I love about my husband is he grew up extremely poor. He doesn't need anything. He's very, very happy, like cooking beans and rice every night for every meal. That would make him just fine, right? So we just have to have that conversation around it. And he's learned how to, like, go on the buy nothing groups for his home remodel projects. Like, he's gotten really creative about that.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's just been fun. So I say, don't make it scary. We always call it a budget party, right? So that it feels like a party. We can bring snacks to our party, and we're just being realigned on our spending as a family.
If you didn't know by now, we have created the #1 video courses on starting and scaling a pressure washing company on the market.
That's right. But head knowledge will only take you so far. You need the hands-on experience.
So what we crafted for you guys is an Experience Nashville 3-day boot camp. 2 days in the field, learning everything as it relates to pressure and soft washing and how the systems work, and 1 full day of breakout sessions with Joshua and myself. Visit pressurewashingpastor.com, scroll down till you see a link to my calendar. We will grab a call together and figure out how to get you here to Nashville.
And then we will see you in Nashville.
Back to the show.
Hey, Meaghan, I'm going to make an ask on the show, and I'd like for you to think about it, but I would like to come back and have a how to create a family budget meeting. Or party. Yeah. And then make that into like a short or, something, because I know I'm probably more like Jeff and grew up, broke, drug dealer, pothead, high school dropout. Financial management was not something that I ever learned. And so I wonder how many of our listeners would be benefit just to get a basic snapshot of what it looks like. And you said it's not difficult, but difficult is difficult if you've never seen it or done it before.
Right.
And so, one thing I work hard on is being an intentional father. Well, if you never had an intentional dad, you don't have a framework to even understand what does that mean? What does that look like? And so I'd love to maybe come back and do a short little video on how to create a family budget party. Would you be interested, or would you be willing to do that when you have time in the future?
Absolutely. And I just say for the listeners on this episode, like look out for that one. We'll go more in depth. But when I say don't overcomplicate it, I say choose how much you're going to make this year from your company and then write down how you're going to spend it. And, we've got the big blocks like mortgage and groceries and kids tuition. And, we've got the big blocks that we can't avoid, but the discretionary spending that's just fun. Like make it fun. Frugal February was really fun for us. It was a challenge.
Yeah, that's fun.
Another rule of Frugal February was we could only go to the grocery store once a week. So we had some really creative meals, right? Like we kind of dug through the freezer, but it was fun. I don't know.
Well, it's funny when you get forced into that, you find out how much stuff you actually have in your cupboards and you're like, hey, it's kind of like Kroger in here. It's just the clearance shelf. So we need to eat it.
Yeah. Hey, Meaghan, I want to go into your revenue for this year or last year. Do you feel comfortable sharing what your company did in the Jeff Likes window cleaning?
Yeah, absolutely. We did $910,000 last year.
Let's go.
Awesome. So you did $1 million, and then you've also done the books for many other home service businesses. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I've done lots of books. I've seen lots of underbellies.
All right. So this is the question. When you look at the books and you look at the secret sauce of profitability, could you give one piece of advice to a home service business owner that could be the secret sauce to their profitability? What would it be?
Spend less than you make.
Yeah, literally.
That's it. It's heavy. Like I say that like kind of tongue in cheek, but everybody understands how much they're making. Revenue is the number we all talk about. But the spending, like you can't delegate that out. You can't like ask somebody else to manage that for you. You as the owner with the debit card or the credit card or the checkbook need to have a handle on your spending. And then it takes discipline. Every month you spend less than you make. Every month. Every week you spend less than you make. Every week. That's it. That's the secret.
All right. So so I'm assuming every single company that you do their books for, they're taking your advice and they're spending less than they make.
I feel like you're being sarcastic.
You're at least pushing them to whether they do it.
So I'm assuming most do not. Why don't they?
Well, so Likes Accounting, we do things differently. So at Likes Accounting Company, it's a little hard for me because we've had to specialize. We've had to focus our energy. So we serve companies doing $1 million and above, which is hard because I can't help my startup Jeffs at Likes Accounting. But here's the beautiful part about that. I never wanted to help the startup Jeffs because at a million and below, you need to be doing your own bookkeeping. It's the only way you can get a handle on your expenses. So we have a separate business called Bookkeeping Academy Online, and it's a beautiful place where we serve those doing under $1 million. And those doing under $1 million, we're going to show you how to do your own bookkeeping in less than an hour a month. We're not going to let you hide from it. Like I literally won't do it for you because you can't afford it. And we're going to show you the 6 steps to financial freedom. And those 6 steps to financial freedom involve doing a budget. Now, at Likes Accounting, every client gets a budget with us. We set a goal together. Like you tell me where you're going. I'm not going to drive you to $1 million. Jeff never wanted to get to $1 million. He never wanted to break $1 million. That was not on his radar. It was too stressful. So yeah, we set the goal. We set the budget. We help you figure out how to get out of debt. If you've made yourself a debt mess, we're going to help you get out of that debt, do a cash flow plan. And at Bookkeeping Academy, it's exactly the same training. It's just, I'm going to ask you to do the work. Because what happens with our marketing companies is I hired a marketing company, right? They're going to take care of everything for me. And then we're disappointed because like, oh man, they didn't fix my world. Same thing happens in bookkeeping. Oh, I hired Meaghan Likes. I'm going to be profitable this year. And I'm like, it's not actually how it works. My magic wand is broken. It's like in the shop. It's just not working. So we've got to stay engaged with our numbers. And it's hard. It's really hard. It's like losing weight. Budgeting is the same as losing weight. It's true.
Yeah, you just have to do it. I absolutely love that. I think if you're listening right now, I would say take it from if someone could turn back the clock 8 years and had the money to be able to do something like that. Don't let that go in one ear and out the other, because the growth can look a lot healthier over the course of a decade if you have someone help you understand how money works. It does do things. It flows, and you control the pipeline and you can control the faucet. And at the end of the day, like Meaghan's saying, she can't take your hand off of it, but she can help guide you, build the faucet, build the pipelines. It does flow, and you can control it and make it really healthy and grow sustainably to set up a foundation.
Meaghan,
So-
I want to ask you. Go ahead, Meaghan.
I'm just going to say, for a listener out there who's like the Jeff Likes of the world, you can do this. You don't need to be good at math. You don't need to be an accountant. You don't need to understand spreadsheets. You don't need to have a college education. You literally just need to understand, how much am I making today? How much am I spending? Where am I spending it? And what's my plan to keep more of it? And when we break down bookkeeping to be that simple, like a curious mindset about the story our money is telling, the story of our spending, then it's really, really accessible, because I can't fix your business. You are the only person that can't fix your business, but I can show you where to look and what to fix next.
Meaghan, we have got to have a part 2, and
Yeah.
I'm actually going to be doing a part 2 with spouses in the fall. And I've talked to like Sid Graff and several other, guys inside of our space. And we are going to have like a conversation with spouses, because oftentimes we only get one side of a conversation, and there's so many sacrifices and so many tension type conversations that we get into behind the scenes that no one ever shares those stories that I think would be valuable. And so that's a conversation in the future I'd love to invite you to. I'm sure you've got some pitfalls, some struggles, some life events that have taken place that we haven't even got to dive into, which would be very valuable. As we ask the last question on the show, because we do need to wrap up, what are you currently excited about that's coming up in the horizon that our listeners or that we need to know about that you're currently involved in?
Okay, I'm going to share what I'm really excited about. Unfortunately, I think it's not going to be for our listeners, but I'm so excited that I'm going to share it anyway. I have built a software company, and it is called Titan Console. And Titan Console, why it's not designed for our listeners, is it's designed for Service Titan users. But here's the principle of Titan Console that I'm very excited about, and I'm hoping to be able to bring to our industry. And it is how to show a manager how your team is being successful. So one of the secret sauces to me is I am not driving all of my revenue. I'm not leading all of my companies. I don't get to talk to my employees anymore. They're just all too big. So I have had to learn how to place and level up leaders in each of those companies. And if we think about the way we normally do that, like let's think about my window cleaning company. I've got a technician and I promote them to a lead technician. I did not promote them to a lead technician because they were a natural manager or natural leader. I, in fact, in the beginning, didn't even invest in their leadership skills or their management skills. But I suddenly thought, okay, the field supervisor has these lead technicians below them, and those lead technicians have more responsibility and they get more pay. But I wasn't investing in them. I wasn't pouring into them. And so what I've learned is those lead technicians usually are very eager to please. They just don't know where to look. So I've gotten really nerdy over the past, 16 months on showing a manager where to look. So now me as an owner, I can set that vision. I can set that goal for the year, and then I can break it down so that every single person that works for me and every single one of my companies knows what they're doing today to help the company achieve their goals. And that makes me really excited. That's
awesome.
that's where we bridge all of those disconnects. And that's how we're able to really scale now, because there's not enough Meaghan to go around. I can't drive all this. I need the managers to drive it.
So where do we need to go if we're interested in finding out more information about the Titan management tool that you've been working
Console.
on? Titan Console.
Well, Titan Console is its own website, but it's only going to be for Service Titan users, and I don't think we're ready in our industry for Service Titan. So I'd encourage you to go to Meaghan Likes Money, and that's my new brand, Meaghan Likes Money, and just about anything I do can be found on Meaghan Likes Money. And so if you can give that a follow, there's videos, there's shorts, there's all sorts of information there to help you drive better decisions. And as I get more organized on this next venture, we'll be helping your managers level up your team and drive your vision home. Because I think that's the thing we're missing in our industry.
I told you she was Captain Marvel.
She's got the answers for everything, dog.
She's a lake.
She's a legend.
You can dip in as many times as you need to, and there's still
drinking
something
water.
left, right? So, Meaghan,
Meaghan.
thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. This has been a pleasure.
Yeah, thank you. I'm looking forward to the part 2s, and I'd love for you to have Jeff on the show. I always say you got to bring him without me though, because I suck all the air out of the room. he's a very quiet man, but I love him a lot, and
Let's go.
he's you. For all the listeners out there, you can do this. Don't overcomplicate it. Remember why you started, and then remember that this is a business. This isn't a hobby. This isn't a job. This isn't a nonprofit. This is a business. So treat it with respect.
Well, until next time.
Peace.